Hello everyone, welcome to Fact Friday. I'm Martin Padilla. On this edition of Fact Friday, we're going to be talking to you about trails. The Texas Parks and Wildlife Department has reopened portions of the Franklin Mountains State Park for limited day use. With that being said, Cesar Mendez, Park Superintendent, joins us on this edition of Fact Friday to talk to us about some of the guidelines to be able to use the trails during this pandemic. Cesar, thank you so much for joining us. The trailheads have reopened, and although this is great news, things have changed. What hike and walking trails have opened?
Thank you so much for the invitation to the show and the opportunity to provide some information about the reopening of the parks and trails. And my name is Cesar Mendez. I'm the Park Superintendent for Franklin Mountain State Park. Some of the trails that have opened include the Palisades that provide access also to the trail system within Franklin Mountain State Park. 1,000 Steps, John Sumrall Memorial, which provides access to the Thunderbird area of the Franklin Mountains. Lost Dog, Tom Mays unit has reopened with provide access to many different trailheads. North Hills subdivision in the Northeast has reopened. Access to the trail system over there can be done through the Chuck Heinrich Park, through Lazy Cow, and through the Roundhouse. We have some areas of the park that had not reopened, and that includes the Ron Coleman Trail, which is off Trans Mountain Road, and the Ron Coleman Trailhead that starts within McElligott Canyon. McElligott Canyon has reopened for the use of the road for outdoor activities, but we have not reopened the trails over there. So people, when they visit McElligott Canyon, should remain within the pavement, within the road, and no hiking should be done on the up to the mountains.
What activities can the public engage in?
Basically, the activities at this moment include hiking, mountain biking, sightseeing, nature watching, and those are the main activities. Camping has not resumed in this park. Eventually we will resume camping, but at this point we haven't. So those would be the most popular activities. People just come to do exercise, to have a nice hike, to climb into the mountains, to do photography, enjoy nature, basically reconnect with nature.
How are staff encouraging safety so the public can enjoy the Franklin Mountains?
Yes, absolutely. Obviously we're under a state of emergency due to this COVID-19 pandemic. And we're excited to have people back in the trails, but we highly encourage them to practice social distancing, to keep 6 feet away from other groups, to stay in their small groups. We recommend no more than 5 people, unless they are within the same household or they belong to the same family. Also, we recommend the use of face coverings. Obviously, if you're by yourself on the trail, hiking with your face cover is not necessarily the easiest way. So obviously, you use the criteria when you're approaching to a group that isn't your group. Then obviously you try to exercise those measures of covering your face. And then practice the normal hygiene measures, like washing your hands or using hand sanitizer frequently, so you can have you can minimize the exposure to the virus. Park staff is minimizing interaction with the public, keeping distance when we interact with them. We wearing face covering in all our interactions among ourselves and with the public. We also sanitizing the restrooms and the areas, the common areas more frequently than than it used to be. So we're also taking those steps ourselves.
Are there other safety tips you recommend for people using the trails?
Well, absolutely. The other safety tips, like even if we were not in a pandemic on this state of emergency, are the regular tips that we always encourage people to plan ahead, plan their visit, their itinerary, know where they're going, how much it's going to take them to do their activity. Be prepared by having the proper clothing, shoes, plenty of water, snacks, have a cell phone with full battery. Cell phone coverage is spotty in some areas of the park, so don't rely on that to communicate if you need assistance. But it's important to have it. Always tell somebody about your plans, so in case you don't return on a period of time that you're supposed to return, then they can advise authorities so that you might have been in distress. So obviously taking those precautions. And one of the most important things is hike always within the trail. Don't go off trail, because that's usually when accidents happen.
If people want to enjoy the trails, what do they need to do?
They need to obtain an entry permit online, and they visit texasstateparks.reserveamerica.com. They register there, they obtain the permit, and it's gonna generate a number. They can print it and display in the dashboard and show it to the park staff when they request to see the permit to let you go into the park. If you don't have it printed, you can just show it on the phone, or you can just you can also tell us your last name, and we will be able to pull out the information with your last name or your phone number. So there's ways, but if you are entering the park and you don't see park staff, make sure that you leave a form of identifying your vehicle with the number of the permit. And also, it's important when you enter in the information in the system, when you're obtaining the permit, to put the license plate of your vehicle, and that makes it easier for the park rangers to verify that people that are inside the park had obtained the proper entry permit for the day.
Is there anything else that you'd like the public to know?
You can also obtain your day entry permits by calling 512-389-8900. We also want to encourage everybody that comes to enjoy the outdoors to do it in a responsible and safely way by taking all the precautions before your visit, being prepared, and don't over-exercise. Know your limits, and just follow the indications of park staff. Hike as early in the morning as possible, or later in the afternoon when it's less hot. Follow all the warning signs, and turn around if you're feeling that you have gone far, and then just turn around the same way that you go into the park, so you don't get in a potential difficult situation further up in the mountains.
Thank you once again, Cesar. A friendly reminder that all city parks and recreational areas will remain closed due to health and budgetary impacts until further notice. All parks and recreation facilities, including aquatic centers, senior centers, sports facilities, recreation centers, and parks will remain closed. If you need any more information regarding everything COVID-19, visit our social media sites or visit epstrong.org. We'll see you guys on the next Fact Friday.